your favorite moment, your favorite Nick Saban moment.
Yeah. For real?
What
Okay.
is yours?
All right. I got 2 moments. I told you, I think one of them pre-show.
Yeah.
One moment was in person. It's kind of a funny moment as a Tennessee fan. But in 2022, when we won that third Saturday in October in Neyland Stadium, the first time against Nick Saban at Alabama, early on in the game, I think it was first quarter, we came out shooting fireworks, right? And I think we had a punt, and one of the guys was an idiot and tried to like field the punt as it was just rolling, and he ended up fumbling. We get the ball back. As a Tennessee fan, I never was watching that play. I was watching Nick Saban the whole time just explode on the sideline because that was one of the best, funniest things. I mean, that was the one time in the first quarter of a football game I'm like, hey, we might have them. Like we might have them, dude. Like they're pissed, and that was a great moment. But I think Nick Saban as a coaching moment is actually a recent one. Everybody knows the 2020 season, the COVID year, whatever. Or I think it was right before the COVID year. It was the 2020 National Championship. And Jalen Hurts has a starting job. He gets benched for Tua. And Jalen decides to actually stay that next season and hopes to fight for that starting job again. And ends up not winning the starting job. But lo and behold, I think it was the SEC Championship. Or was it the NAT? It was the SEC Championship.
It was the SEC.
Against Georgia. And Tua, I don't know if he got hurt. I think he got hurt. He went down. Jalen had to come back. He sat that entire season as the number 2 guy in his senior year. And he had to come back. His team needed him. And Nick Saban made the move. They came back, won. They might even won the Natty that year. They did win the Natty that year. Just one of those things where Nick Saban got super emotional after that game. I think Josh Pate even alluded to this in his like special episode for Nick Saban. But that was one of those coaching moves, one of those player to coaching relationship type things that is dying in today's sport, unfortunately. But that was one of the greatest moments I remember of Nick Saban between player, coach, the sacrifices that had to be made, but the reward that came with it. Now, we all know that Jalen Hurts, after that season, graduated, transferred to Oklahoma. But, I mean, that's what he had to do. But the fact that he stuck around and ended up helping that team win a national championship as a backup quarterback, that was crazy. I think it's more of a testament to Jalen Hurts and Nick Saban, but it was really both of them that made that happen. And I don't think any other head coach in today's game, maybe besides Kirby, but even Kirby, I don't see it. It's just having that type of relationship with the player, knowing what you have to tell them, kind of have that dirty discussion with the player. Mm-hmm. And as wrong as it may feel, but knowing that things are going to be right. And I mean, look at what Jalen Hurts is doing now in the NFL. So that's probably the deep down coaching moments, best moments I remember of Nick Saban.
Yeah.
What about you?
I've actually got 3 moments that shows the 3 different sides of Nick Saban.
Oh yeah, I can't wait to hear it.
Yeah, one of them you actually already said. It was that the angry Nick Saban on the sideline during that Tennessee game, just the outburst that he had. He was furious, and that was the moment that you realized that Josh Heupel in that game was out coaching Nick Saban, and it was what had happened before then, along with the player just having that bonehead mistake. All of that just came into one, and he lost it on the sideline. So that was the angry Nick Saban. Then you have the funny Nick Saban. You probably remember the one practice that they were having, and of course, most coaches are out there on the field when things are going on, and Nick Saban was right in the middle of it and actually got hit by one of his players during that practice. And they get into the press conference after practice that day, and the first thing he says is, "You should see the other guy," because he's got a little bit of blood. I think he's got a black eye or something like that, and he just goes on there and he's like, "Man, you should have seen the other guy." So that's the funny Nick Saban. But then you get the coach Nick Saban as the last one. It was after the 2021 national championship when Georgia beat Alabama. You got Bryce Young and Will Anderson sitting on either side of Nick Saban during the press conference. and the media is done asking them questions. So they get up to leave, and Nick Saban reaches out and grabs both of them and sets them back down. And he says, I just want to say how much these guys mean to me, mean to this program, and all the things that they have done for this program. There's not enough words, and I'm not saying his exact words. I'm just I'm kind of paraphrasing it here, but he's like, these guys mean so much to this program, and I cannot thank them enough. And if I was one of those players right there, and the greatest coach of all time is saying those words about me, that I probably would have broke out in tears just hearing that. That's the coach Nick Saban coming out there. So those are my three favorite moments of Nick Saban. There's many more that people could choose from, but those are three of my favorites right there.